I don't want to say social engineering, because that's what the elites have done down here. I'm talking about the tricksters though. These are spells where they can set up an entire situation and it can make you think that the situation is a real situation, that you're actually going through it because you feel it. In actuality, it's nothing more than a trick, than a spell. So do you remember like video games where like think about Wizard of Oz, right? You know, the Wicked Witch of the West, how she put all the apples in the field. She wanted um Dorothy, right? She wanted Dorothy. This Wizard of Oz a little bit. She wanted Dorothy, and I ain't gonna lie, Wizard of Oz is a powerful movie. I recommend y'all go back and watch it with your third eye open. Okay, but in the Wizard of Oz, the Wicked Witch of the West, she wanted Dorothy to eat the apples so that she would fall asleep, and then she could leave her in that sleep state. She could attack her and completely get her revenge and keep her trapped in Oz forever. And Dorothy, she would have never. She did end up falling asleep, but the Scarecrow and them cried for help, and the Witch of the North came and she made it snow, and they woke Dorothy and the lion up. But they did go to sleep. But the whole way the scenery was set up, where they literally made Dorothy go into a field of apples. Right? The Wicked Witch of the West set up this whole field of apples that was never even there to begin with. It was a field of roses, to be exact, like a field of flowers. All right? And these flowers were designed to make her relax and get comfortable and go to sleep. So, that would be an example of a trickster's magic. Okay? You have benevolent entities that practice this magic too. See, I think you gotta understand this magic is like the way we talking about it. This is like kindergarten. This is like preschool. You know, lighting candles and that. That's preschool with magic. It gets way deeper. And you could get so advanced with it where you can set up whole situations. Because remember, the eyes can be easily fooled. The eyes are the retinas, these retinas, the scientific name of them is retinas. Retinas because they retain energy from light, all right, emitted from photons, which is where light photons come from. The same ones you see when you take a photograph, okay? The retinas can be easily tricked because if you can bend the light, then the retina will not be able to have anything to reflect off of. So this is how you can change the way something look. This is how people be in the desert and they think they see water and it be a mirage. They call it a desert mirage, right? So down here on this realm, you have tricksters that are fully capable of setting up these mirages. And they will come across to you as whole experiences, which you will experience these things. And this is why it's good to go back and watch old shows too, like Supernatural. Because Supernatural, they put a lot of shit in Supernatural, right? They was putting a lot of shit in Supernatural about all the different beings and how they come, and you know they were showing you magic. They were showing you a lot in that old even speaking about the angelic realms, right? They showed you a lot in Supernatural. That's another show I recommend y'all go back and watch with your third eye open. All right. It just show you how the realms work and how these benevolent beings or these principalities and these spiritual beings and deities and the like, they not much different than you and I. So they vibe, their frequency can go high, can go low, they can be misled, they can be led the right way, they can be. That essence of us never changes whether you are in the flesh or not. That's a spirit soul. That's a spirit soul thing. Right? To make a decision, to see it through. That's a spirit and soul thing. You got to understand what's happening to you when you're thinking. Have to understand. You have to understand exactly what the spirit and soul is, and how it communicates. In the spirit and the soul, it evolves. So your soul gonna evolve whether you want it to or not, because the soul evolves strictly based upon experiences. Only thing the soul requires to evolve is experience. Now, the way you react to the experience or the way the experience affects you, that ain't got shit to do with your souls. Your soul is your soul. And you have to put your soul and your spirit on the same frequency. Your spirit can be here and your soul can be here. Your soul can be here, your spirit can be here. You gotta have the balance. And see, by a lot of our information being hidden from us and removed away from us, we are able to go through a lot of scenarios and situations down here in this matrix and under like whole lockdown with no defense magic to defend ourselves against it. Why do you think certain crystals protect you from psychic attacks? Right? What is a psychic attack? A psychic attack is a real thing. People can work magic against your psyche. And if they are working magic against your psyche, right? Because it's just like with the voodoo doll. You pick and choose what you want to attack. I can attack here, I can attack here, I can attack eyes, I can attack your mouth, your neck. That's why the voodoo doll has everything on it. Representative of that avatar. And you have benevolent beings and you have witches here. They walk amongst us in the flesh like me and you. You would never know a witch if you seen one. Because you looking for some little white chick on a broom cackling with a motherfucking black hat on her head. You know what I'm saying? But you have male witches and you have women witches. You have male witches, which are sorcerers, wizards. You have female witches, which are just that. They're just witches. But they come in different colors. It don't matter. They can be a goddess, meaning carbon in her skin, meaning she gives life to the sun. But if her frequency is not right, that decides on how she's going to use her magic and her energy. So you have real witches out here. You have real individuals who, just like I sit here and I chime with the Orishas and I chime with the ancestors and my spiritual family. You have individuals that sit with their spiritual family, and their spiritual family is the benevolent ones, the fallen. And the fallen give them power as well. Remember, we playing with the same energy. It's just we got different intent. The gods, high frequency, we playing with the magic, but we using it for good. Our intent is good. Meanwhile, the fallen, they playing with the magic, but their intent is bad. That's the only thing that decides, a witch from somebody that's practicing Wicca, sort of say. Right? That's the only thing that make it witchcraft when it's being used for negative frequency. Witchcraft is light magic. Same thing. But they'll make you think the dark magic is bad. Because the attack is going to always be against the dark. The attack is always against anything with dark pigment. Everything about you is despised. I don't want to use the H word, but you know the H word. Everything about you, they H it. It's despised. So it's dangerous coming down to this realm because it's a lot of witches here. I told y'all, Kendall Jenner is one of the most powerful witches on the planet. I mean, not Kendall, Kris Jenner, the mother of the Kardashians. People would never know it. And she been here since they landed too. Feel me? You know what I'm saying? She way older than she look. You got a lot of witches like that. You got a lot of wizards out here and sorcerers out here. And it's not just people that's celebrities. You got a lot of different type of alliances out here, man. Eastern Stars is a real thing. Freemasonry is a real thing. And most carbonated beings, gods who enter Freemasonry, they'll never get to the top of the pyramid. They limit them. They let them go so far in, and then it's like, all right, there you go. Even if they give them a 33rd degree Masonry title to make them feel a part of Masonry, they still will never be the Masons of the real Freemasons, which are the oppressors. So they hide all that. They break that information off from them. That's the whole reason of the pyramid structure. We keep some at the bottom. It's levels to this shit now. Only the true blood's gonna get to the top of the pyramid in Freemasonry. That's why the Freemasons be mad at me. How the fuck this nigga he telling them shit only supposed to be hidden files amongst us. Same thing with the Eastern Stars, which are the women Freemasons. You don't never hear nothing about the Eastern Stars, but they out here deep. Hell, you can't even be an Eastern Star unless your daddy is a Freemason or a Master Mason. And I'm not talking about those little black women they show in the church who talking about they Eastern Stars. They don't even know what they're a part of. Talking about the real Eastern Stars that keep those black women away from them segments, that keep all that information, the same information we discuss on this channel, amongst themselves. It's all about magic. Everything is magic. I told you, from the way they designed your house, the shapes, the way they taught you analytics, the whole way they taught us to think, the whole programming of school, the whole reason you go to a school, the whole reason you pay taxes, the entire English language, every single fucking word. Magic. And the quicker you can realize that, the quicker you can defend yourself from what you are up against. This is a war that's going to require us to get back to our magic. And when you do research, we hear about Crazy Horse and how he was able to stop bullets. Right? We learned about him last week. And then we know about Queen Nanny of the Moors. I'm going to do a lecture on her too, how she was stopping bullets. And then we heard about Simeon Toko and how he had a whole fleet of angelic angels, warriors, which we call seraphim and cherubim, come out the sky. We got the Haitian Revolution, which I was a part of. I remember my past life. I only had one here in that physical vessel before this one. And in that revolution, we did the same thing. We tapped into the energy of Ogun. We resonated with that frequency, and that's how we were able to win in that war. But we was using magic. We were doing rituals, whole rituals, and that's what we have to get back to. Rituals. Hell, this is a ritual itself to come on here every Sunday. It's a ritual. That's why I set the frequency right. That's why we have candles burning. Because I want to bring you more into the ritual side of us. Rituals. We don't even need 2,000 people. We could have just had 300 people on here. But if we doing it